Today, let's break down a tool that every JavaScript developer has used but may not have a good understanding of, and that's npm install. If you're running a runtime environment, specifically Node on your computer, then you've absolutely used npm install, but you may not have a good understanding of what exactly is taking place. So when you run the command npm install, it's actually looking at your package.json file just to see what dependencies are already installed in your project. Then it's going to check your package lock.json file to find the exact version that was previously installed. Finally, it's going to download all of the necessary packages based on the dependency that you're installing onto the local node underscore modules folder, that big folder that you never really want to click on. Think of it like going to the grocery store and you're making a list of things that you want. You may walk down the aisle where ketchup is located, and there are different sizes, different brands, different types of ketchup, but you want to grab a specific type of ketchup, just a specific brand, that is, a specific size. You want to make sure that you get exactly what you're looking for. Well, this is the exact same thing that's being done once you install a dependency within the package.json file. This is going to make sure that the project remains stable. Now, when you run npm install, by default, it's going to install those dependencies within the local environment. This means that it's only going to be available locally within the app. Now, you can run different commands like -g, which is global, -d for development. Typically, a global install is for something like creating a React app or creating a Next app, something that's going to be used globally throughout the project. The -d is going to be for development. This is going to be something like NodeMon or any of the development tools if you don't want to use what's in the browser. That's something that you're going to use in a development environment, but it isn't necessary to include in the production environment because it'll basically bog the project down, and it is including unnecessary dependencies that you don't want to include within the project. So the role of the node modules folder is actually what has all of the code that's going to run your app. This file, or this folder, excuse me, is typically included in a .gitignore file because you don't want to include that within Git because it is a lot of code that is unnecessary because it's such a big file and it's messy, it's hard to understand. It's really, really under the hood. It's kind of like getting inside of a transmission. You just want to make sure that it works. You don't kind of want to get into the weeds of that per se. And you're also going to get a package lock.json file, which is going to lock down the exact version of the dependencies that's being installed. That way, if a teammate or someone else wants to run this project on their computer, they're going to have the exact same setup. It may function differently based upon their machine, but it's going to make sure that there are no mismatches with the version of dependencies that's already installed. So the next time you run npm install, just remember it's not just installing stuff, it's actually doing something meaningful. It's setting up a consistent environment, locking down the different versions of dependencies, and making sure your app can run efficiently no matter the machine and run just fine everywhere. If you found this quick tip beneficial and helpful, don't forget to give me a like. In the comments, let me know what was the last package you've installed on your most recent project. I'd love to kind of get an understanding of what you're installing. Otherwise, stay locked in and enjoy coding.